Yo, what's cracking everyone? Eric Ship 111 here, and a round of applause for Playground Games for finally getting around to fixing a major issue that has plagued Forza Horizon 5 ever since it was released. So for those who may not be aware, just yesterday over on Twitter, Forza's official support page tweeted out that in Series 2, we adjusted how drift zone scores are calculated to balance points distribution in both automatic and manual gearing. This means that some of the highest scoring entries on the leaderboard became unachievable and spoiled the fun of attaining a high new score record for some of our players. We have heard your feedback and are in the process of deleting all drift zone scores entered before January 14th of 2022. We appreciate your patience as we continue to work on the health of our leaderboards. Okay, so first off, I actually wasn't aware that Playground Games had changed how drift scores were calculated in Horizon 5, because to me, the leaderboards in the game were such a mess from the beginning that this was one of many aspects of the game at launch that I just didn't even bother trying in, as there were so many cheaters already. But assuming that on the 14th of January of 2022 was the date that they changed how drift points were scored, I couldn't find any proper patch notes about the change, whether it's on their official website or on their Forza support Twitter. I even tried scrolling down on their Twitter history to see if any tweets were mentioned about the drift score changes, and the closest tweet I found was posted on the 12th of January of 2022, stating, "Here's a look at the fixes we are working on to improve your gaming experience." And upon directing me to their official website, it did have a section on leaderboards stating, "We are finding a solution to remedy lap times and high scores being posted to rivals and PR stunt leaderboards. This remains a high priority for our team, and we hope to introduce new safeguards to tackle the situation around cheating in the future. We don't expect this to be a quick fix, but we're committing to ensuring the leaderboards are fair and not compromised." So if I can wrap my head around this, basically around the 12th to 14th of January of 2022, Playground Games told the community that it's the team's high priority to look for solutions in mitigating all the cheating in Horizon 5's leaderboard, but at the same time also introducing a stealth patch that changes how drift zones were calculated, which will ultimately skew the results for all drift entries from here onwards. Doesn't that then make the drift zone leaderboards, since the changes, unfair and compromised in a way? Well, I guess so, which is why they are now finally in the process of removing all entries that were made prior to January the 14th of 2022 after a year later. Now, although there is a part of me that is glad that Playground Games is somewhat moving towards the right direction in addressing the drift zone entries, this entire leaderboard fiasco has honestly been such a major issue. In fact, it was also a huge problem back in Horizon 4 as well, and for its entire lifespan was completely ignored, to the point when Horizon 5 launched, nothing changed. The only difference here was that the developers did of course mention something about it on their official website, as stated earlier in this video, around a month and a half since the game launched, but no updates or actions were taken until 8 months later, where in August, in a Let's Go livestream, the developers stated that the team will start doing targeted deletion and will roll out in multiple phases throughout the upcoming weeks or months. Now, from my understanding, they have done some clearing up on the leaderboards since then, but it wasn't very much, and unfortunately during that process also managed to delete some legit times too. Don Joe Won Song had a handful of his times removed, and we all know he is completely legit. So obviously, whatever algorithm Playground Games have created in removing illegitimate times from their leaderboards is not completely cheat proof. Now, I'm sure this entire process of trying to make the leaderboards legit is a very difficult task, but to me, if this really is a high priority for the team, especially since the start of 2022, we are now entering February of 2023. Horizon 5 should have a pretty clean leaderboard by now, full of legit entries at the very top, with no signs of players achieving PR stunts of well over 43,000 feet, rival ghosts completing circuits or sprints in under 10 seconds, or D-class cars reaching over 500 miles per hour. But sadly, if you take a look at any of the leaderboards today, cheaters still dominate the top of the leaderboard. And it's sad because when you look at many of the things you do in Horizon 5, especially on the main map, most of the activities involve your result being entered on a leaderboard of some sort. So essentially, it's a major part of the series, and sadly, a huge portion of the competition side of this game has completely disappeared, which then also results in many of the car clubs, whether they specialize in drag racing, drifting, tuning or whatever, phasing out too, because on the leaderboard we can't see who the best teams are anymore. I remember back in Horizon 3, I used to love doing 1 mile drag races, and I made a YouTube video about my fastest Dodge Dart tune, and I believe at that time I was ranked somewhere in the top 10, and whenever I would check the leaderboards, I would see a few of these players sharing the same club tag of PTN or something, completely dominating the very top of the leaderboard. And if memory serves me correctly, one of their members even sent me a message saying that he saw my video and asked if I would like to join their car club. Now, I respectfully declined as I had my own car club already, but I just remember spending hours upon hours tuning just to inch up from 5th to 4th on the leaderboard, and it was such real competition. I would imagine the drifting and tuning community would be the exact same too, and not only that, it creates friendly rival car clubs as well, but sadly that aspect of Horizon has truly been lost, and I miss it a lot. Now in Horizon 5, I don't even bother anymore, as it seems like the first top legit entry is placed like 140th, and it's all mixed between legit and cheated entries from there on afterwards. If Playground Games somehow manages to find an actual solution for the leaderboard issues, then all the things I just mentioned with the different car communities and club rivals, they would all return. But seeing the progress from when this issue was addressed by Playground Games to where it currently stands now, I genuinely do not know if cheaters on the leaderboards will ever be fixed in Horizon 5. Yeah, sure, this step in removing entries from drift zones because they essentially changed the algorithm is a good start, but where I worry is why did it take over a year for this to finally be addressed? Surely even after half a year, this could have been addressed, right? I don't know, but they should also look at removing entries for any top speed traps that were entered during Update 9, as that was when the Koenigsegg Jesko was glitched and the car had a top speed buff from 310 miles per hour to 330. Now for any players who started playing Horizon 5 from Update 10 onwards, will have no chance of being competitive at all, as the Jesko got re-nerfed back to its original top speed. So maybe that is something to also look at too, Playground Games. Let me know what your stance is with the status of the leaderboards in Forza Horizon 5. Is this a good step from Playground Games? Is it too late? Or should they be focusing on other aspects of the leaderboards like a true anti-cheat system? Write them down in the comment section below, as I do read all of your comments, guys. But anyways, if you guys did find this video interesting or helpful, please make sure to smash the thumbs up button, as it really does help me out. And lastly, if you would like to see more Forza Horizon 5 content right here on this channel, make sure to click the subscribe button with notifications turned on, so that way you won't ever miss out on another video that goes live. And I hope to see you guys in the next video. Peace.